Good morning. Welcome, parents, to Europe and the Modern World. I am Miss Salter, Miss Rhiannon Salter, and I am very sad not to be there with you today. I am in a wedding today, and I'm very much looking forward to meeting you at one of our many events. So, I thought I would start with a little bit about me. I am Miss Rhiannon Salter. I actually graduated from San Domenico Upper School a few years ago and went on to attend UC Berkeley, where I was a member of the rowing team, the crew team, where we won a national championship, and I double majored in political science and media studies. I then went on to spend several years in the corporate world before deciding to return to the classroom and get my master's from USF. So I have a master's in education from USF, and I'm credentialed in both English and history. So you might be wondering, what is Europe in the modern world? We are covering thousands of years of history in what I think is a fascinating course. We are starting with kind of the foundations of civilization, and we'll review some of the terms and events that the students learned last year. And we're just starting to move on to into the modern era, where we'll cover social structure, the Black Plague, the Renaissance, and exploration. Your students just gave their modern plague presentations in which they compared the Black Plague to one of our modern epidemics of the 20th century, which was fascinating. They did an excellent job presenting the material. We then will be moving on to autocracy and imperial Russia. And then we move on to revolution and tyranny in France. So the French Revolution, Napoleon Bonaparte, and several other key historical events and people. In the second semester, we will cover industrialization. So we'll look at the Industrial Revolution, World War I, totalitarianism in the 20th century, as well as World War II, and then bringing it all the way up to the world today, where we'll study a little bit of contemporary China. So you might be wondering, how can my student do well in this class? And you can encourage your student to start homework the night before it is assigned, not the night before it is due. There is a significant amount of reading in this class. Students are reading the textbook for a lot of the information, and then we kind of go over the highlight reel in class. And so one of the major ways that students can do well in this course are to do the reading and the assigned reading notes. Because there are usually 1 to 2 chapters assigned every 2 days or every class, the student can, if they start reading the night it is assigned, they could do 1 chapter the night it is assigned and the second chapter the second night, and not leave it all for the night before. You can also encourage your student to speak up in class. The more participation they have and the more they're able to verbally process their ideas and contributions, the more they're able to internalize the information. I also encourage them to speak up about current events and make connections to the world around us with what we're studying in class. Most importantly, I ask them to question everything. If they can question me, question the reading, question events in history, question different accounts in history, that is what it means to be a critical consumer of information. And that is one of the basic skills that I'm hoping to teach them this semester. Lastly, they can come see me if they have any questions. I'm always available during office hours, often after school or before school, and I hope approachable and welcoming to all students who have any questions. So our learning objectives for this year are more than just content-based. By the end of this year, I hope that students will have these skills as well, that they will be able to confidently present original information gathered from a variety of reputable sources to the class in a clear, strong voice, that they can write a clear and concise, well-organized historical analysis paper with proper APA citations, that they can utilize available information resources, online and print, to find evidence to support an original thesis, and that they can properly annotate a historical text to extract the main idea and supporting points, as well as examine a text for bias and point of view. Right? This is what it means to be a sophomore at San Domenico, and I hope that they will achieve these skills by the end of the year, and I will be assessing these skills. We'll be working on them gradually over the course of the year. So you might be wondering, how does grading work? We start with penalty-free practice. And penalty-free practice is the idea that they are able to practice a skill before being assessed on it. So they will have an opportunity to practice usually several times, and only then will I assess them on that skill and on that knowledge. They can also do well in the course by participating. The more they participate in conversation and discussion and reading and worksheets and group work, the better they are engaging with the material. I always expect them to have academic honesty, so we'll review what that means in today's world, what does plagiarism mean, and how do we avoid it. I expect them to engage with material and peers, and if they are ever absent from class, I expect that they get the notes first from a peer and then arrange a meeting with me to review what material they missed. Homework. This course is very reading heavy, but the reading should take no more than 45 minutes to an hour per night. Most projects that we have will be started in class, but some may be continued for homework. So I always start materials in class, and we'll have a time for me to go around and check in if they have any questions or concerns. So how can you help? You can ask your student about what they're learning in class. The more they're able to process and explain what they're learning, the better they're internalizing it. You can help them make connections. I'd love current events to be a family affair. If you see something that maybe has to do with World War I or World War II or the Russian Revolution or any of the concepts that we're covering this semester, please help our students make connections. And challenge your student to speak up. I'd love to hear their thoughts. We'll have opportunities for them to write down their thoughts as well for those who are maybe not as strong speakers. But we will also be having discussions, and I'd love to hear each and every one of their voices in class. So if you have any questions at all, please contact me. My email address is rsalter@sandomenico.org, and I'm usually quite responsive by email. So I look forward to meeting you at another time, and please don't hesitate to contact me with any questions. Thank you.